आम सुंदर हमारे यार लखन को जिया लल के
श्याम सुंदर हमारो यार लखन को जिया लल के
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 श्याम सुंदर. In the second chapter, 71st verse, now this is the 12th chapter, he is given the peace formula. Give up your ego. Give up the sense of proprietorship and vihaya kaman. Give up these desires. So here Sri Krishna says, higher than empty ritual is knowledge. Higher than that is meditation. Higher than that is detachment from the fruits of your actions. So beautiful. Now, from verse 13 to 19, he will describe the qualities of devotees, which is also a very inspiring topic. Adveshta sarvabhutanam
Adveshta sarvabhutanam
Maitraha karuna eva cha
Maitra karuna eva cha
Nirmamo nirahankaraha
Nirmamo nirahankaraha
Samadukha sukha kshami.
Samadukha sukha kshami.
Translation. Those devotees are very dear to me who are free from malice towards all living beings, who are friendly and compassionate. They are free from attachment to possessions and egotism, equipoised in happiness and distress, and ever forgiving. So he's telling us these are the qualities of devotees. This very good to know what is the ideal, and then you match yourself against it to see, am I developing this virtue or am I short in it? In this way, you keep cultivating good virtues and eliminating defects. So he starts off from here. A true devotee is free from malice or hatred or resentment towards others. Resentment is a very unspiritual thing. Somebody did something wrong to you. You say, oh my God, he said like this to me. He did like that. Now you harbor the resentment inside. Does the resentment help you? Of course not. Resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other guy is going to die. So all this negative thought, it is like acid in your heart. A devotee is one who chooses good thoughts. You cannot be a good devotee when you choose bad thoughts, because the mind is basically where we are. Now, we are very careful about keeping our living room clean. Even the garbage that is created from your own home is placed outside the home. You don't want it inside. And let us say your neighbor came and emptied the garbage pail on your Turkish carpet in the living room, and you found cockroaches and vermin roaming around. You see, I am going to call 911 or clean up this mess. But that bitterness, that malice is also residing in the head. We are not careful of it. And that is why a person who is trying to purify themselves, they are very careful to avoid these kinds of thoughts. A beautiful story is given of Mahatma Gandhi. His close associate was Anand Swami. On one occasion, the servant Reva Shankar irritated Anand Swami for some reason, minor thing, and Anand Swami lost control and slapped him. Mahatma Gandhi said, "You slapped him just because he's a servant? Suppose he had been senior to you, would you have done this kind of thing? This sentiment which you harbored makes you unfit to live out here." So that decision that I must not keep malice in my heart. Now, devotees, they learn to see God in everyone and in all situations. The person whom you are hating, God is in that person as well. So if you say, "I hate," that means you are hating God. True devotee never hates anyone. Instead, they utilize bitter situations as opportunities to purify the heart. That is why the example of Sant Eknath, a saint from Maharashtra, he took a bath in the Narmada, which is considered a holy river. And when he came out, a Pathan was standing there, and just to irritate him, he spat on the saint. The saint said, "Jai Bhagavan Shri Krishna," and went and took another bath. And when he came out, the Pathan had not moved from there. He again spat on him. So he went and again took a bath. This continued multiple times. A whole crowd gathered on both sides of the Narmada to watch who is going to win. From morning it became evening. Finally, the Pathan admitted defeat. He said, "Maharaj, what is the matter? Are you made from stone or are you made from wood? I have done so much to you and you've not even complained." Sant Eknath said, "You are my well-wisher. Because of you, I have taken so many Narmada baths. You have helped me purify myself. Why should I keep bitterness towards you?" So that ability to be a positive thinker, the ability to be solution oriented and to use situations to your benefit, this ability comes naturally to the devotees. Let us see the next one. He says is, so adveshta sarva bhutanam, then he says maitraha karuna evacha. A devotee is friendly and compassionate. This quality of sympathy and empathy is fundamental to being human. But sometimes in the hustle and bustle of modern living, we forget to be simple human beings. It is said that American Airlines in its first early years was having too many problems with luggage being misplaced and sent to the wrong cities. Until the CEO of American Airlines, he called a meeting of the various heads from around the country and told the airport managers, "You misplaced their luggage," quietly. When they went through that experience themselves and arrived at the meeting without luggage, they realized how painful it is. So, likewise, the ability to be sensitive to the sufferings of others. Isn't that what Narsi Mehta said? वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जो पीर पराई जान रे. Understand that person to be a Vaishnav who can feel the sufferings of others. A famous anthropologist is Margaret Mead. She was asked, because they search for fossils and then they reconstruct history from their remnants, relics they have gathered. And she was asked that how do you estimate that there was a human civilization here in prehistoric times? Margaret Mead's answer was that if the femur bone, the hip bone, was broken and it was again healed, that means there was a human civilization there. Because no animal can survive the breaking of this femur, the thigh bone. Once the thigh bone is broken, you are crippled. You can't reach water, you cannot reach food. But the fact that it was healed means somebody else came to take care. This is the sign of civilization. So, this kind of empathy is just about being human. And the devotee is one who goes beyond, who is seeing that all souls are one with God. They are all parts of God. So the quality of compassion towards them comes naturally. The same story of Saint Ekanath, it goes that he was going to Rameshwaram to have darshan of Rameshwar Bhagavan. So, one of the principles of the Tirth Yatra to Rameshwaram is that you gather Yamuna Jal and then you take it there and you offer the Yamuna Jal from North India on Rameshwar Bhagavan. So Sant Eknath was doing the yatra, and close to Rameshwaram he was in a desert, and there he saw a donkey almost dead with thirst. Now he was in a dilemma. He had the water. Should he give it to the donkey or should he give it to Rameshwar Bhagavan? If you were there to advise him, what would you advise him? He had to take a call. He said, never mind. I will just assume that my Rameshwar Bhagavan is in this donkey as well and offer it right here. The ability to see the unity of all living beings with God makes us kind and compassionate towards them. And then he says, Nirmamo. A devotee is free from attachments. If you can free your mind from attachments, you will be able to accept things, situations, and people. Some are always in this stressful mode. If the attachment is to relationships, it gives the desire to control. And what can you control? Now, why are parents so unhappy? Attachment to the children. Because the child one day has to leave. Now they are in misery. So, this detachment in relationships, detachment from your goals. You have made goals, but those goals are not in your hands. They are only proposals. You have presented to God. It is up to Him to fulfill or not fulfill. So the ability to detach yourself from your goals, detachment from your experiences. Some people overanalyze their experiences. They make too big a deal out of them. The purpose of life is to live it, not to overanalyze it. So, detachment from your experiences and detachment from your work. Otherwise, when you come home from office, you will bring your work along with you. All the tension, you'll bring it with you. But can you leave your work there and come back now for quality time with the family? And finally, detachment from your own thoughts. If your mind is saying mood off hai, can you detach yourself from those thoughts, or do you make a big deal out of your emotions? This emotional people, they cannot see that the mind is not them. And that is why emotions is a big deal for them. So if they are in a bad mood, they are really in a bad mood. And somebody who can create a little distance between the mind and themselves, yeah, the mind is creating mischief, forget it. I will detach myself from these moods. So Sri Krishna is saying that a devotee is free from attachments. And why? Because the devotee knows one day we will leave it all behind and go. जग छोड़ना ही होगा गोविंद राधे पहले ही छोड़ी मन हरि में लगा दे. Jagat Guru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj says, one day you will have to leave the mind, the world. So why not leave the mind from the world right now and attach the mind to God? When Dattatreya went to the palace of Raja Jimutketu, he said, Rajan, can I spend the night in this dharamshala of yours? And Jimutketu said, hey sadhu, mind your tongue and speak. Such a beautiful palace, and it seems like a dharamshala. You know, the dharamshala in North India, it's a word used for the free hotels that charitable people open in holy places. The travelers go and spend one night there, 2 nights. He said that this palace seems like a dharamshala. Dattatreya said, Rajan, if you don't mind, I came here 50 years ago. And you were not on the throne, your grandfather was on the throne. Yeah, this picture out there, that guy with the turban and big mustaches, that was the one. And I again came 25 years ago. Your grandfather was not on the throne, your father was on the throne. Yes, that picture out there with the sword in his hand, that is him. And now this time I am coming, you are on the throne. So each time there is a change. That is why I am saying that this is a dharamshala. So think about it. All that you are attached to will be left behind one day. Then does it make sense to continue with these deep attachments? The Sri Krishna says, Nirmamo, free from the clinging of the mind. What is the attachment? The clinging of the mind. Now, some people say, Swamiji, are you telling me to leave the world and go into the Himalayas? No, only telling you to leave the attachment to the world. Like the boat is in the water, but the water is not in the boat. If the water comes in the boat, it'll go down. Likewise, be in the world, but don't let the world be in you. Otherwise, there will be a problem. Then he says, Nirahankaraha, free from egotism. Now, one was the desires that creates disturbance, and the other is the ego or the pride.